what role has the judiciary played in this stalemate?
So far, so good. We have absolute faith in judiciary. As I mentioned earlier, apart from the judgment by Abang, all other judgments, even the FCT High Courts, none of the judgments from FCT High Court. There was a judgment of the FCT High Court that said, ab initio, the appointment of Mahdi Sharif as chairman was null and void because it was based on a constitutional amendment which the court had annulled that did not follow due process. Even if you take that alone, it means that you are dealing with somebody that in law is not recognized as chairman. And he has never appealed that judgment. So aside from the judgment of Abang which we have appealed, no court of law has made any judgment that is positive in respect of Mahdi Sharif. All the pronouncements of courts, whether at the FCT High Court or Federal High Court so far, have been positive on the party, on things that the caretaker committee has been doing and is doing. And we have absolute faith in judiciary that ultimately that justice will be done, and it will be done by upholding the will of party men and women, by upholding the convention. Even when this is done, we still believe that we can still reconcile. At least what we want is a unified common judgment, that tomorrow nobody can start challenging the actions of the party.
As it should. The PDP has been calling the APC out on the current economic travails, and I've heard you say that the PDP is a government in waiting. But can the PDP really claim to have no hand in the mess the country is in right now?
Some actions you can basically put on the shoulders of those in power now. Some issues you may trace back, to during the time we were in power. And some even as far back in 1999 when we took over, and some as far back as you can go, because for a long time, even from military administration, we have this issue of misplaced priorities. We're not really that forward-looking as we should have been. And there always comes a time when you pay a price for not being forward-looking. So I do agree with those who argue that not all the problems you can fault the current government. But then what you must also fault the current government is concentrating on blame game. Instead of saying, okay, fine, even we have faulted, we agree there were faults before, also there are faults of us. When the nation is facing this massive crisis, it requires all hands to be on deck. We should not politicize the sufferings Nigerians are going through. We can join hands, work and get Nigerians out of the difficulties we're all in. And at the end of the day, Nigerians will decide when elections come who they want to elect. But I believe we are facing serious economic, social, and security problems in this country.
Talking about bringing people together, you were governor of Kaduna State for 8 years. Give us your perspective on the southern Kaduna crisis. What's going on there? Why is it so difficult to bring the people of Kaduna together? Why do we keep having these problems?
You see, the problems we had then are a bit different from the kind of problems that we are having now. Of course, some of the problems I inherited as governor were a century old. People wanted it to be independent of the aristocracy of Zazo Emirate, basically. And some struggles have been on for 100 years, 80 years, 70 years, you get the point. And they wanted equal and fair, not equal, but fair and just representation in governance, fair and just in development, and they wanted to be treated humanely, like every other citizen of indigene of Kaduna State. And what we did was to listen to them and basically give them what they wanted. And it removed some problems that were centuries old. On the Sharia issue, we put them together to propose a legal structure that will address the fears and aspirations on all sides. They recommended the tripod legal system, which we adopted, and passed legislation that everybody is respecting. There has been other intercommunal, crises here and there. Even when you talk of Fulani, it's not the local Fulani as far as I am concerned. But Fulani, you can't. Some live in an enclosure. Some are nomads. Even outside Nigeria, they come in. And our borders are porous. Because they are porous, and things, went out of control. Having said that, government also must deal with this issue very, very carefully by not giving any of the two sides to the dispute the impression that there is a preferred person, because it will become difficult, very, very difficult, for you to be an arbiter or a peacemaker, peace broker, if any one of the two sides or both sides suspect you of one thing or the other. It may be an erroneous impression, but when the impression is there, it creates a problem.
You talked about the Fulani herdsmen right now, and I want to use the Fulani herdsmen in parentheses, in quotes. There seems to be a real problem now, from cattle rustling to kidnapping to highway robbery, rape, and other sundry crimes. How did they become so emboldened? What is it about the Fulani herdsmen that has made them to metamorphose into this dreaded group?
I'm not a Fulani man, but what we hear is
that... Or are they being unjustly vilified?
As I hear, first of all, not all of them are Fulanis. Some of these kidnappers and highway robbers, especially along Kaduna Abuja Road and around, like those who kidnapped Ambassador Hissi in Kaduna that was suspected to be Fulanis. None of them, from the names published, I don't think there is any name where you could say Fulani. They are Nigerians from other ethnic extractions, maybe one or two from Kaduna, not even Fulani. But of course, that is not to say the Fulani have also assumed a notoriety, for doing so. It's a problem that the Fulani leadership must be brought in across Nigeria. The state governors have a role in, if you want to develop a ranching program, discuss it with those who come, bring their cattle, for rearing. Find a way you can create the ranch program that they will not see it as an enslavement or imprisonment. And find a way, maybe you can even make money, develop an abattoir, develop a way you can process beef. You can even you can make business out of, improving the way we rear our cattle. But when you come or make pronouncement as you want to force people to change a century-old culture, even if what is merit in what you are saying, it will be misunderstood and it will fail. That is why we are saying people should watch what they say. As I said earlier, government can work to bring about peace, but when you say take it or leave it, you must have peace, you must live peacefully. It may be temporary, but in the long run, it can flare again. So, but by working with people, by understanding these people, I believe we can find a solution to this mayhem and insecurity that is going on in a large part of Nigeria.
Senator Ahmed Makarfi, we thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
And we thank you for watching. Please join us next time when the program returns. But between now and then, let's continue our conversation online at channelstv.com. Thank you again for watching, and see you next time.